Hello class. Today I'm going to be teaching a little bit about the big 5 personality traits. And to begin, we're going to first define what is personality. So when you think of the word personality, how would you define it in your own words?
A person with
Characteristics.
Okay.
lasting characteristics.
Behaviors. That's good. Anything else? Okay, so this is the definition that I found. So personality, the set of emotional qualities, ways of behaving, etc. that makes a person different from other people. So today we're going to talk a little bit about why personality is important and the big 5 personality theory. So would somebody volunteer to write on the board for me? Anybody have good handwriting? Thanks, Catherine. Yes. Okay, so when I say the word personality traits, what kind of words come to your mind? Not just personality, but personality traits. For example, one could be happy. You can just write the traits, Catherine. Thank you.
Talented.
Any other personality traits you can think of? Kind. Yeah.
Mean.
There's always an opposite. That's good.
Light.
Adventurous. That's good. Close enough. We'll know what it means.
Just pretend that says adventurous.
Any others? Happy, talented, kind, mean, and adventurous. Those are good. Okay. So here's just a list of a bunch of different personality traits. I think the point of this is that there's just tons. Every person has different personality traits, as we kind of highlighted. It's very individual and very diverse, I guess, in a way. Thanks, Anthony. So the objectives for today are to talk about specifically the big 5 personality traits. And so our goals are for you to be able to identify the 5 traits by writing them all down. And there's an acronym that should help you with that. And then also to be able to identify at least 2 of the 5 traits you feel that best describes yourself and share that with a partner. Okay, so first we're going to talk a little bit about what the theory is before we dive into what the 5 different traits are. Could somebody read the first bullet point? Maybe we can just start with Nala and then go around.
There are 5 main core personality traits that everyone has to some degree.
These traits were developed over time by many researchers and psychologists. Understanding your personality gives insight to how you react in different situations and may be helpful in many aspects of life, for example, with choosing an occupation.
Okay, so learning just a little bit about this theory, why do you guys think as future teachers it may be important to understand more about personality? What would that have to do with your future students or your future teaching career?
When we design our lesson, we can differentiate, caring about each student, their personality, characteristics.
Yeah, it helps with differentiation if you know exactly what your students are like. That's good. Any other ideas?
It can also help you understand yourself better so that you can be more aware of how you may be reacting in the classroom or what activities would be best for your maybe teaching style and personality style.
Yeah, you need to know your own as a teacher as well as the students. It goes both ways. I like that. So these are the big 5 personality traits. Openness, conscientiousness, agreeable, extroverted, and neuroticism. Some of those words I think are kind of hard to define, so we'll go in a little bit more into what each one means and examples of each. So here's kind of a list, and every single trait is kind of on a scale. So really we all have all of these traits, but some of us are high scorers on some and low scorers on some. So maybe somebody could be very extroverted and the opposite would probably be introverted, right? And so we all have all of them, but there's some that are that are stronger in our personality and some that are weaker, I guess you could say. So we'll just go ahead and read some of these different words that describe each trait. Maybe we can start with Amy. Amy, can you read? Let's start with openness. So read the low scorer attributes and then the high scorer ones, and then we'll go to Kelly, and you can read conscientiousness, and then we'll just go around.
Okay, the first trait is openness. For the low scorers, down to earth, uncreative, conventional, uncurious. And the high scorers, imaginative, creative, original, curious.
Conscientiousness, the low scores are negligent, lazy, disorganized, and late, and the high scores are conscientious, hardworking, well organized, and
For extroversion, low scores are loner, quiet, passive, and reserved, and high scores are a joiner, talkative, active, and affectionate.
Agreeableness, for low scores, they are suspicious, critical, ruthless, irritable. High scores are trusting, lenient, soft-hearted, and good-natured. Neutral Dixon, with the low score is calm, even-tempered, comfortable, and unemotional. With the high score, worried, temperamental, and self-conscious, and emotional.
All right, thank you. So do any of these words, are any of them confusing, or is there any that you don't understand, or is it pretty clear what like each of these traits mean? Good. Any questions? Okay, so we'll go on. We're going to play a little game, so try and remember these describing words because it will help. We're going to watch some clips of movies, and you're going to have to kind of analyze the characters and see what traits you think are more dominant in those characters. So which ones do they score high in? And usually each one has, the ones that I found, it's kind of one that's highlighted. But if you find another one, that's great. We can talk about whichever ones you think. So just keep these in mind.
Conscientious, it's more like you're aware of other people. You're like you don't want to be late because you don't want to like
Let your boss down.
yeah, like you're always worried about what your friends think.
Catherine, how did you duplicate it?
FN and the ones with the two computers. It's an orange symbol. There's two screens back to back, sort of.
Oh, I think F8.
Yeah.
And then look on your computer and you can pick which one.
Duplicate?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so here's the first clip.
It's just that I wanted to be home.
And these are two characters, sadness and joy.
You nearly touched a core memory, and when you touch them, we can't change them back.
Oh, I know, I'm sorry. Something's wrong with me. It's like I'm having a breakdown.
You're not having a breakdown. It's
I
stress.
keep making mistakes like that. I'm awful.
No, you're not.
Annoying.
You know what? You can't focus on what's going wrong. There's always a way to turn things around, to find the fun.
Yeah, find the fun. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, well, try to think of something funny.
Oh, remember the funny movie where the dog dies?
Yeah, that's not. Oh, what about that time with Meg when Riley laughed so hard milk came out of her nose? Come on.
Yeah, that hurt. It felt like fire. Oh, it was
Okay, don't think of that. Let's try something else. What are your favorite things to do?
my favorite. Well, I like it when we're outside.
That's good. Like there's the beach and sunshine. Oh, like that time we buried Dad in the sand up to his neck.
I was thinking more like rain.
Rain is my favorite too. We can stomp around in puddles, you know, there's cool umbrellas, lightning storms.
More like when the rain runs down our back and makes our shoes soggy. And we get all cold, shivery, and everything just starts feeling droopy.
Oh, hey, easy. Why are you crying? It's just really the opposite of what we're going for here.
Crying helps me slow down and obsess over the weight of life's problems.
You know what? Let's think about something else. How about we read some mind manuals, huh? Sounds fun.
I've read most of them.
Well, have you read this one? This seems interesting. Long-term memory retrieval, volume 47.
No.
Ooh, a real page turner.
Long-term memory data selection via channel subgrouping.
See? Fun already. Oh, you lucky dog. You're reading these cool things. I gotta go work. Life is so unfair.
Okay, so before, I'm gonna pull up the slide that has the words again, but does anybody have any ideas of what they think each of those characters might be? Probably like this. So which one do you think Joy could be? Based on that little clip.
Agreeableness, high on agreeableness.
Uh-huh.
I'd say high on extroversion.
Uh-huh. And what behaviors did she, like what things did she do that made you think that?
I feel like she had all those things in the list, and then she was just very, like, out there.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Very talkative, definitely. She's the one talking more. She's happier. You can tell she's good natured. Yep, those are the two that I thought of both those when I was going through it. Okay, and then what about sadness? Which attribute or which trait do you think fits her better?
Neuroticism.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think neuroticism?
She's emotional about everything. Every little thing.
Very worried.
Why?
Everything makes her worried.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one.
Look, I really hope you take the job, but we're at the end of the line here. I need a decision by tomorrow.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I would be insane not to take the job, but I'm just having some trouble thinking about leaving Pony.
Hey, you're someone who may be able to convince you. Hello, Mrs. Obama.
Hey, Grant, how you doing?
Doing good. This is Leslie. No, she's considering a job with us running the new Midwest Bureau in Chicago.
Well, you know how I feel about Chicago.
You are from Chicago, so you like it.
That's right, and we need passionate people like you in our national parks. You know they get hundreds of millions of visitors each year. Are you nodding because you agree with me?
Yes, I do agree with you. I agree with you on all things throughout history until the end of time forever. You and Grant work together?
Yeah, we work together a lot. He's helped me integrate the Let's Move program into our national parks, you know, getting kids outside, rock climbing, hiking.
Wow, that's really, really incredible. Great work. I'm sorry I'm talking so loud. I'm getting louder now and I can't stop. My apologies. I don't know. Like high-fiving?
Yeah, well, I hope you take the job. Change happens one person at a time. Good to meet you.
Again, think it over.
Okay, so what traits do you think Amy Poehler showed in that other clip? Openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. There's not necessarily one like right answer.
I would say agreeableness, only because like she's not agreeable,
Uh-huh.
and like in the moment she was like, I agree with everything.
Yeah. At least in that situation, she was very agreeable.
Like in that situation.
Okay.
Maybe some conscientiousness, because she seems like she's hardworking and
Uh-huh.
she's not jumping to conclusions, like just take the job, but she's like organized and like thinking about it.
Yeah, that's interesting because I hadn't thought about it from that clip, but if you've seen the show, do any of you watch the show, Parks and Rec? She is like very, very, very conscientious, like the hardest working person. She loves her job. And so I think it's interesting that you picked up on it. That's good. All right, we'll move on to the next clip.
Tell everyone.
She's not supposed to be here until 9.
Her driver just text messaged, and her facial expression it is. God, these people. That I can't even talk about.
All right, everyone, gird your loins. Did someone eat an onion bagel?
I don't understand why it's so difficult to confirm an appointment.
No, I'm so sorry, Miranda. I actually did confirm
Tell
last night.
your incompetence do not interest me. Tell Simone I'm not going to prove that girl that she sent me from the Brazilian lab. I asked for clean, athletic, smiling. She sent me dirty, tired, and paunchy. And RSVP, yes, Michael Kors party. I'm going to drive to drop me off at 9:30 and pick me up at 9:45 sharp.
Okay, so what do you guys think about that clip? It could either be, I guess you could either think about the workers that were getting ready or Meryl Streep, I mean. You can say either, whichever ones you think.
Workers. She's definitely conscientious.
Uh-huh.
Hi. Very high.
Yeah, this is kind of like an extreme example of very conscientious.
And then Meryl Streep would be low in agreeableness.
Uh-huh. Yep, I think that's true. She wouldn't really listen to her even when she said she did.
Yeah.
Book it.
She's definitely ruthless.
Yeah. So maybe high in conscientious, low on agreeableness.
Yeah. And then I think the workers are high on neuroticism.
Uh-huh. Because she's like this, they
Yeah.
are high on this one.
Yeah.
How that affects,
Mm-hmm.
those different personalities affect the other ones. Because maybe normally they wouldn't be this way, but
Yeah.
because of how high and extreme she is, it kind of makes that rise
Mm-hmm.
for that situation, at least for their work environment. Okay, we'll just have one more.
Hi, Todd Mahar, eHarmony. How can I help you today?
Hi, I can't seem to leave a wink for someone. I don't know, is my page broken? Do I maybe have a broken page or?
I've never heard of that, but okay. You're trying to use your eHarmony account for the first time?
I am.
Okay, I'm looking at your profile. We have a pretty intricate matching algorithm that what distinguishes us from other online dating services.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, I'm just trying to leave a wink for one person. Cheryl Melhoff. She started in my division at work about a month ago, and I overheard her near the bagel saying she was on your site.
Okay, that's unique. But let me ask you, you left a lot of this stuff, like the been there, done that section. You left it blank.
Yeah, I think I skipped it.
Okay, you've got to help me out here, man. Don't skip stuff.
Okay, well, I haven't really been anywhere noteworthy or mentionable.
Have you done anything noteworthy, mentionable? Hello? You still there?
Can you hang on a second?
Gas. Oh, I hope it's okay. I engineered a
prosthesis for chips while I was sprinting down the stairwell. Little hip joint assembly with a drop ring lock and an anterior pelvic band.
God, you're noteworthy.
I just live by the ABCs. Adventurous, brave, creative. That's everything I want in a man.
My man? Hey, my man, you still there?
Hey,
What, did you pass out or?
no, I just like zoned out for a second.
Oh, okay. Do you do that a lot?
Okay, so what was Walter Mitty's attribute, do you think?
Low on openness.
Okay, and why do you think that?
Because he's conventional. He's just ordinary.
Uh-huh. Any other thoughts on him? I think this one's interesting with him, openness, because he's kind of like wants to be this way.
Please, yeah.
Like he is imaginative and he's creative, but he's also very like
Yeah, so
maybe he's
somewhere
kind
in
of
the middle.
reserved, maybe he gets worried, you know what I mean? So I think he's kind of an interesting combination of the traits, but yeah, I think openness is the one that stuck out to me too. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, well, before we split into groups, we're going to just split into groups for a few minutes, and you're going to be able to talk to your group or your partner about the 2 traits that you think are more dominant in your personality, and then maybe an example from your life that shows that. So before we do that, I'll give an example of myself and then what I've at least seen in my personality. So these were 2 that I thought of, extroversion and neuroticism. And I did extroversion. A lot of the time people think to be extroverted, you just have to be like center of attention. I want everybody to look at me. But actually, extroversion has a lot to do with being social, liking to talk with people, just being around people, very, very people oriented. And that's something that I have always kind of been. And I think that's exactly why I've loved playing sports growing up. I played since I was little all the way up through college. And I just love being on a team. I love being around people. I love working in projects together when I'm at work, when I'm playing a sport, when I'm at school. So I think that's why extroversion stood out for me. And then for neuroticism, I think when you think of this word, it seems like it's a really negative one because it's like a crazy person. But what stuck out to me in that one and the traits when it described them was emotional. And I don't know if it's like a genetic thing, but my family is very like we bear our testimonies, all of us cry. Like my big tough brothers, all of them cry when they bear their testimonies. And I think it's just because I'm more driven by emotion. And you know, the other ones we have varying levels of, but those are the 2 that stuck out to me. So now we'll split into groups. And does anybody have any questions about what you'll be talking about or doing? No? Okay, so we'll just split in tables. So I'll have Ulu and Molly talk just for a couple minutes, and then we'll have you 3 talk. And then listen carefully to what your partner says, because afterward you're going to share with us what you learned about your partner. So I'll just give you maybe 2 minutes for that, and then we'll talk about that for a few minutes before we wrap up.
Oh, I'm taking the test.
Could you go to the other one? Oh, yes.
23 minutes. I'm like low and interesting. I'm like halfway between high and low in conscientiousness because I'm like disorganized and stuff. I just trust people. Are you a personality right now?
No. I
Have you
took
taken
it. I took it last year, I think it was.
Maybe it's
I'm low in consciousness. I was always lazy. Always late.
I think a lot of them are really strong.
yeah, it tells you a lot.
I think I'm
So one more maybe like
That's me and my personality.
I'm probably
figure it out, Noah?
Yeah.
You figure yourself out.
Yeah.
Medium high of openness. Gotcha. Just okay. Extroversion, I'm like in the
I
middle.
think
Agreeableness. More, a little bit
higher scores for the number 5.
More in the middle.
Yeah.
I worry about it a lot. Before actually I think about it, then I'm really emotional. I cry a lot.
That's good that you know.
Situation.
Yeah, definitely situation.
Depends on my temper. Changeable. Yeah.
Okay, has everybody talked? Are you ready to share something about your partner? Okay, so we'll start with Ulu and Nale. So Nale, what did you learn about Ulu? What characteristics stick out and why?
Consciousness. I learned from her that she's a hardworking and punctual person, which is really opposite to me. I late to work, I late to everything, and I'm not hardworking, I'm a lazy boy.
Good. And Ulu, what did you learn about Nale?
I learned that she only trusts people she knows. She doesn't
Uh-huh.
really trust a lot of people.
Okay.
But she's also
So what one would that be?
agreeableness.
Uh-huh.
She's like in the middle of that. But she's
Low
also-
on agreeableness then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's also good-hearted, or good natured.
That's true.
Very original.
Good. Okay, let's start with this group now. You can just choose which person since you have 3 of you. Amy, how about you start? What did you learn about one of your partners?
Kelly?
Catherine.
Sorry. Catherine. Catherine said she's in between low scores and high scores of the consciousness.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Right? And then she's high scores for the agreeableness. I agree. Because I feel she has a soft heart.
I agree too. We're all so agreeable.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Kelly, what about you? Who do you want to love, I guess?
So Amy said she's generally more worried about things, so more high on the radar spectrum. But like we also kind of talked about how like sometimes it can be situational.
Uh-huh. Not all the time, just in more stressful situations. Sometimes your scale kind of changes a little bit. You want to just cry? Yeah. Okay, then Catherine, what did you learn about Cal?
That she's high on conscientiousness, punctual and hardworking and stuff.
Well, that's good. That's a good trait to have high marks on, I think. Okay, well, just to close up, how do you guys think we can apply what we've learned about these 5 traits into our teaching and into, I guess our future classrooms? We talked about this kind of generally before, but how do you think we can apply what we learned today into your future class?
By understanding more, like if you know the markers, I don't know what those words are called, but
Traits, I don't know.
if you recognize those things in your students, and you can like tailor your lessons towards that.
Uh-huh.
Like if they tend to be disorganized, find some way to organize the lesson, or if they're quiet, then make more room for like pairing discussion. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I like that. You can kind of look at their strengths and their weaknesses personality-wise and see, okay, let's try and help with this and let's play to this strength. That's good. Okay, so last thing, you have a little test and you have like 30 seconds to fill this out. Okay, so the acronym acronym to help with this is OCEAN. So you have to write down all 5 of the attributes, or all 5 of the traits in OCEAN. And then, yeah, you have 30 seconds, and then after you can tell me if you miss one, we can just see how everybody did, I guess. Boom, Catherine's got it. Catherine has the advantage because she's a psychology major. Okay, has everybody got what they know? Okay, so Catherine got 5 out of 5. Did anybody else get 5 out of 5? Kelly? Ulu, what about that's okay, this isn't a spelling club. Ulu?
Yeah, I got it.
You got all 5? Nale, how many did you get?
3.
3, which 3 did you get?
The openness and the appreciable and the neutral.
The neuroticism. Okay, so what were the 2 she was missing? She got open, agreeable, and neuroticism.
So conscientiousness and
Extroversion. Yep. Amy, how many did you get? 4. Good. Good job. Well, I just think that this is important to know about, and like you guys have already said, that when you know this about yourself and about your students, you'll be able to serve them better as a teacher, and you'll be able to help. You'll be more effective as a teacher, and you'll help your students be more successful because you'll know their strengths and their weaknesses and how they react in certain situations and how you can help them. So hopefully you can remember this and apply it in the class sometime soon. And that's all.
Yay.